Do you love the holidays? It is one of my favorite times of the year, but it can be very stressful. There is cooking and shopping and cleaning and preparing to do. There's the tree to get and decorate. There are cookies to bake and presents to send. How can we do that without feeling stressed? Hi, I'm Mary Bourne, traditional naturopath, and I love sharing natural remedies with people for better health. Natural remedies have been used on people for a century, even thousands of years, and they have stayed with us because they work. This month of December can be very stressful, and making to-do lists is one way to de-stress. When you have a lot of things to do, the first thing you want to do is to write a list for each job. Once you've written down what the job is and what needs to be done to accomplish it, and when it has to be done by, your mind can organize how it will be done. If you don't write the list, your brain is constantly cycling what needs to be done. This can be exhausting. It stays in the cycling mode. You will find you are even too tired to sleep because it revs up the sympathetic nervous system. Training yourself to make lists instead of just thinking about what has to be done is one of the first steps in de-stressing. For example, you want to buy a Christmas tree. Look at your calendar and see when you can go. Do you go to the same place you've been before, or do you choose a different one? Maybe your tree is one you pop out of a box and it's in storage. So you have to make time to go to where it's stored and then set it up. Whatever the task may be, making a list of what needs to be done and allotting some time to it is proven to reduce stress. Allotting time is an important key because maybe you have 45 minutes that somehow you found yourself free. And so you look at your list and you think, okay, well, it's going to take me about a half hour to go to the storage place, come back, but it's not going to be enough time to set it up. So do it. Go get the tree, bring it, put it in your living room, and then allot the time that it will take to put it up. And maybe it's only 15 minutes, but you've already got something planned and you don't want to be late for it. But here's the thing, you can click off that go get the tree. You've already accomplished something, and there's a sense of confidence that builds when you check off things from your list. So if you look on your calendar and you figure out when you can achieve different things, it creates okay, I've done that feeling. I know you haven't accomplished the job yet, but there is a sense of accomplishment. So when you click off, it gives you an empowering feeling that you're doing something, you're moving forward. So look at the task, figure out, okay, this is going to take me about 45 minutes and from start to finish, and I can accomplish that in such and such day. If you like these systems of small steps, there is a wonderful guide. It's a Small Steps Guide to Goal Setting and Time Management by Louise Hondier. It is really helpful for those people who tend to procrastinate and then stress over it. So, things do not have to be stressful. It is really part of being human to worry, and I want to talk about that in a minute. But here's the thing, is stress takes its toll. It can bring down your nervous system and your immune system. And the thing I love the most is Distress Remedy. Now, Distress Remedy is an energy medicine that helps you to calm down and engage the parasympathetic nervous system. So before you write your list, take a dropper of the Distress Remedy, take a deep breath, and write it down. Okay, here's the job. Here's what I estimate it will take. And good morning, Karen. And make your list and then keep it in place. Like a lot of people will do it on their phone. There's plenty of places, apps that have list-taking abilities, and you can voice them in. I like to print them out because I love that physical check mark. It just gives me a feeling that, okay, I've accomplished some things. So the supplements I talk about are on my website. You can download the sheets from bornforhealth.com. Look on the Herb Encyclopedia, and you will get a sheet like this, and you can download it and read about it later. You can send it to a friend. These are great holiday gifts to give somebody. The hints that I'm giving you today, maybe you know of somebody who has OCD and they struggle with this time of the year because they just procrastinate, they can't move forward, everything's not perfect. These tools will help them to move through it and perhaps have a happier season. So you can also spritz the room. I love doing that. Shake up a spritzer and spray the room before you begin your list. And I like to use lavender. It's a very calming thing. But also, if I'm feeling like a little tired in that, one of the things that really works well is Inspire Blend. It has this beautiful citrusy smell to it, a little woodsy. So it brings you into a place where you feel there's better oxygen and you can think better. So there are a lot of things. If you don't like the smell of lavender, Inspire Blend is really wonderful. So the topic, every Monday I send out an electronic newsletter I call Herbal Egram. And this Monday, yesterday, was don't worry about it. Have you ever heard people say, you feel worried about something and then you say, well, don't worry about it. It's ridiculous, like saying don't think of the pink elephant in the room. It happens. It's very difficult to control feelings. Worry is a feeling. Obsessive worry is not good, but worry can accomplish a lot of things. I mean, you have to think about things and concern, especially if you have a concern. How is this going to take place? How are you going to do something? So I'm going to show you how to worry. Yes, there is a right way to worry. So on this newsletter, you can become a subscriber. It's free. You simply email me, Dr. Mary at bornforhealth.com, and say you want the free Monday newsletter, and I will be happy to add you to our list. I do not share my list with anybody. It is totally confidential. And you can find past newsletters on my website, and it is under the newsletter side. Just check the bar newsletter, and you will find the most recent newsletter. And you can read it in its entirety. In fact, there's a whole year's worth of 5 minutes is all it takes to read each blip. And so if you like going to blogs and reading a little health tip and start your day, go choose that, see if you like it, and maybe you'll get some really good tips from it. Many times there's some links to further information if you like research on things. So be sure to click on some hearts and thumbs up and comment if you want to, because I will look at the comments, I will answer them. If you have something more personal, you can email me, Dr. Mary at bornforhealth.com, and I will get back with you on some resources. So here's how to worry properly. So if you have glasses, you might want to take them off, especially if they're big clunky ones. And you take your thumbs and you put them at the base of your chin. Then you take all of your fingers and across the forehead. Make sure you're touching all fingers to your face. And then you just simply worry. You think about what it is, who's involved, what could happen. Just worry as much as you can. Just get it all out. And what happens with this is that this is sort of like a little steam valve. Have you ever done a pressure cooker and you've got that thing rocking in that? That's what it is. It's a steam valve that lets you go whoosh. So when you don't worry this way, the thoughts recycle and they can go internal and affect your health. So every morning when you go to the bathroom, you sit on the toilet and worry. Worry about your day, worry about what's going to happen, worry about what has happened. You're not allowed to worry unless you're doing that. So after a while, you'll get to the point where it's like, I'm sitting on the toilet and I have nothing to worry about. Then you plan your day. And you plan, what could go wrong, and maybe you don't have enough time or whatever. But if you are consciously concerned about something every time you find yourself thinking about it, do that procedure. Don't stop worrying. Worry properly. So show that tip to all your friends too, because it really works. It works really well. I've used it particularly tough things where you're very concerned about somebody's health, or how a trip is going to go, and weather doesn't look good, and I take Distress Remedy and I worry. And this has been something our family has done since my boys were little, and they're now in their 50s. So they share it with their family, and when we see somebody doing that, give them their space. It really doesn't take that long. If you take 5 minutes doing it, that's a long time. Usually you don't have to take 5 minutes. You'll notice that you're doing good worrying if you take a deep breath, and all of a sudden you feel like, you give that sigh. So taking deep breaths engages the diaphragm. This also helps the parasympathetic system click in. Now, you have two branches of your nervous system. We've talked about this in other videos. One side is the sympathetic nervous system, and that's your get up and go and do things, and you're motivating. And then you have the parasympathetic, and it goes like, okay, it's time to chill out. You need to relax, have that cup of tea. They balance each other out. You don't want to always be in parasympathetic. That's like being drugged. But you don't always want to be in sympathetic, because that makes you anxious, and you don't want to be anxious. So when you're breathing, take a hand and place it on your chest, and place the other hand on just into your rib cage. See which one's moving. And if this one is moving, that's normal but not good. What you want to do is bring your breath down to that lower hand. Make sure that you're pulling that in and pushing it out, pulling it in and pushing it out, and breathe that way. That's why laughter is so good, because it moves that diaphragm. Gargling is good because it initiates the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve is responsible for initiating the parasympathetic nervous system. So do what you can to de-stress, and take some of these hints and share them with people. Practice these deep breathing methods. Some of the things I like to do is to give gifts of unusual gifts, something that you can't just run out and buy. And one of the gifts I give is, it's very inexpensive. It's Epsom salts, and I put 5 or 6 drops of lavender in it, and I shake it up, and I put a little label on it, and give them instruction. You put this in your bath and relax. If it's a gentleman that you're going to be giving the gift to, maybe they can do a foot bath. Well, women can do a foot bath too, but particularly men aren't bath people as a rule. So doing a foot bath is really wonderful. Now maybe they don't want to smell like lavender, so peppermint is really invigorating. You can put 5 drops of peppermint in this and put a little label on it. Add 2 gallons of warm water in a dish pan and swirl it around until the salt dissolves and soak for a half hour. So if you are looking for gifts to give a mailman, well, most of them ride around in cars, but there are still some that walk around. And in fact, I got an email from somebody the other day who did 32,000 steps. She's a FedEx and she did some extra time. So wouldn't she love to have something like that? So it's invigorating. It helps the immune system stimulate and get ramped up so that it can protect you. It helps circulation so you feel better. You really do, just taking that half hour. Now it's really important for us to take some refueling, re-energizing moments. Sometimes we have a half hour, sometimes we only have 5 minutes. So maybe we don't even have that. So spritz, take a breath, how long does that take? So some of the other things that drag us down is our diet. Too much sugar can make you feel anxious. That is obvious. So make sure you are feeding your body some good nutrition. Start your day with a wonderful protein shake. Nature's Sunshine has this wonderful Nature's Harvest. And this I've given to people who are recovering from chemotherapy and they don't have much of a diet, or even you can make it loose enough that it can go through a feeding tube. It's so much better for them than Ensure. But Nature's Harvest is just loaded with wonderful energizing food. It is a vegetarian base of beans and peas that are easy to digest. It has chia, alfalfa, amaranth, spirulina, chlorella, carrot, broccoli, artichoke, asparagus, parsley, kale, and beet in it. But you can also pop it in a blender and add some fresh veggies to it, like spinach if you want to. But know that there are some wonderful veggies included in it. There's also some great essential fatty acids like flax and borage, and digestive enzymes to help break down the nutrients. It's a great way to start your day. I usually like to add a dollop of yogurt or some avocado to thicken it up because I like it like a milkshake. And it's wonderful just mixed with water. Like I said, you make it as liquid as you want if you have to put it through a feeding tube. And how wonderful would that be for somebody who needs good nutrition, but what they offer for putting in these feeding tubes is just not good nutrition. A lot of it is chemicals. There's wonderful herbs in this as vitamins and minerals. So it's a meal replacement. It really is not just a protein shake. It's a full meal replacement. So starting your day with some good nutrition can contribute to clearer thinking and more energy. And who doesn't want that this time of year? So, and it's also a good de-stressor because there's very few sugar calories in this. But the other thing you can do is make up some veggies. Cut up some veggies, stick them in some cold water, and put them in the refrigerator. I like celery sticks and slicing carrot diagonally so that you have carrot chips to gnaw on. Fresh fruit, apples. There's wonderful choices of apples this time of the year, and lovely oranges. So slice up an orange, wrap it up in some paper towel, and you can munch on it and be doing yourself a favor. So making sure that you have the right kind of fuel that will help you stay calm and relaxed is really important. Nuts and seeds are a great option. Watch out for protein bars. Many of them have too many calories in them, almost like a candy bar. They're like chocolate covered and all this. So eat half of it and then choose a half an apple or some applesauce, non-sugared applesauce. Make sure that you're picking organic whenever you can. It's really important for your health and not to get a lot of chemicals. We are dealing with toxic burdens all the time. So making a list of what snacks are a favorite and having that list available so that when you go grocery shopping, you can be reminded that you're out of this and you want to make sure that you're stocked with good food for your family and for yourself. Put some in your purse. Have these snacks available. Don't get caught where you're wanting to grab a donut or something that is going to wipe out your immune system during this time of the year. The other thing that's really important is restorative sleep. Restorative sleep is sleep that lasts 7 to 8 hours. It's consistent sleep. You're not waking up during that sleep time. And one of the things that herbs that I have found is this combination called Herbal Sleep. It has valerian, hops, and passion flower. And these help to shut off the chatter that's going on in the head, that recycling of what could have been and what should have been and how you could have acted and all this. Lists will help with that, because if you've got it on your list, during sleep, your brain can actually find answers. You know, Henry Ford used to have a pad of paper and a pencil by his bedside, and he'd go to bed and he'd think, okay, give me an answer for this concern. And then he would go to sleep, and he'd sleep deeply, but somehow during the night he would wake up and he'd write the answer down, he'd go right back to sleep. And he solved many problems this way. He'd wake up in the morning and see his writing on a pad of paper and think, oh my goodness, where did that come from? It came from his subconscious. And so the answers are out there. A lot of times they're not here. They're out there. And we have to just relax. We have to get into that parasympathetic system in order for those answers to come back to us. Otherwise, we're recycling the problem, and that's not where the answers are. So another thing I love is ashwagandha. Now, ashwagandha is a wonderful herb that there's tons of studies being done about it now. The scientists are really excited about it. Do some research on it. Look it up. Check out my information on my website. So it's on Herb Encyclopedia is what you click on after you go to bornforhealth.com. And by the way, if you want to purchase any of these supplements, you can simply add it to your cart. It will take you to the Nature Sunshine website where you can get a 35% discount. So it's just a really easy system if you want to get your supplements from a very quality place. So here are some action steps. Make sure you make lists and look at them frequently so that you can check off. Take an action step toward your goals to gain confidence and let go of procrastination. Take deep breaths frequently throughout the day. Find yourself, okay, I'm breathing from here, I need to breathe from here. It doesn't take much time, but all of these de-stressing techniques can help you have a happier holiday. So make sure that you give gifts that not everybody's going to have. It's not, oh yeah, another one of these. Share what you've learned. Recommend these videos to your friends so that other people can find the solutions that don't harm them or the environment. Keep focusing on gratitude. Be thankful for people and gifts of nature all around you and the flowers and the joy of the season. Thank you for viewing. Until next week, this is Dr. Mary for the Health of It.